Heartlit. Yeah. Heartlit. Grounded. Aligned. Watch me rise up. I don't chase the tide, I create the flow. Quiet power, watch it glow. No more waiting, no delay. I don't ride the wave, I am the wave. Built from fire, built from grace. Every scar show me my place. No more asking if it's safe. I don't ride the wave, I am the wave. I am the wave, I am the tide. I don't need permission to rise. Aligned, divine, timing on point. Power in my voice. I am the wave, I set the tone. Built this rhythm from my bones. Lead with love, move with grace. I don't find my place, I am the wave. Align, decisive, magnetic, rising. Align, decisive, magnetic, rising. Align, decisive, magnetic, with rising. Decisive, magnetic. I am the wave. I am the wave. I am the tide. Watch how the current multiplies. Lead the way. Live with love, move with grace. Say it loud. I am the wave.
Good morning. I'm a little late, but I'm trying to figure out why Facebook's not functioning and going live. So give me a second. I was trying to fix Facebook if you're watching this on YouTube. Hopefully, this is what it's asking. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. Facebook's so picky. Goodness. All right, so I have to do this quick. Y'all, it's early. It's like 5:40. I apologize that I'm late. I had technical difficulties, but I wanted to hop on because of the fact that tomorrow I am doing a live workshop virtually. So I'm teaching live via Zoom, and I wanted to just kind of come on and show you what it's all about, because some people might be like, I don't understand what you're doing. So I realized that, and I want. Y'all, I just realized I've been muted this whole time. Fantastic. I've been having so much hard problems. So if you're like watching and you're like, what's happening? I was muted. My bad. So I'm gonna come back I did a live event in person in Oahu. She builds Oahu. And I learned a lot from that event of what people think about vibe coding, what they're capable with vibe coding in terms of their thought process. They're very in their infancy stages. And the only reason that I have the edge is that I've been vibe coding with other platforms that people probably didn't know you could do it on for a really long time. And I wanted to just follow up because there was a lot of people that wanted to come to our in-person event. They have an idea for an app or a website or something that they want to basically have AI design and code for them, and they don't want to necessarily have to pay a website developer or an AI or like not an AI but an app developer. And that's basically where I come in. um, and a lot of what I see, and I saw it at the workshop, was that a lot of people waste time on the wrong thing, or they don't know how to use the right language to get what they're looking for, or they're not really sure what should take place from a customer's journey inside an app specifically, that they get stuck in this cycle. And so it can be really frustrating. And so, if you have some type of a brilliant idea for either yourself, your business, or your clients, and you're assuming that you need some type of a tech skill or a developer or some crazy 30K budget to get started, you are in the right place. Or maybe you're one of those who have tried all kinds of AI tools and really started to feel overwhelmed, especially right now with Claude being the newest and latest and greatest of what people are out there, um, saying that that's the next thing. They're right, by the way, but for you, you're not even trying because you're just overwhelmed, or you've tried vibe coding and you can't even finish a product because you are running through your tokens like it is nobody's business. You are in the right place. If you want to create like a really good functional digital tool when you're offline without burning out or wanting to pull your hair out, you, my friend, are in the right place. And so I really just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about vibe coding. If you don't know what vibe coding is, it's literally the definition of describing to a artificial intelligence language model what you want in normal plain language, and then getting it to look almost like what you want. And that is really what vibe coding is. It is basically giving you the power of an engineer, like a tech developer, in your hands, like in everyday's people's hands, people like you and me who have no tech experience. And having said that, it is very much still not like creating anything. Like it's not like you can just go in there. And that is really why I started to really focus on vibe coding, specifically because the industry is feeding you these lies that you literally can type in like two sentences and then that's it. Bada bing, bada bang. You're going to be so happy. And for some people, that might work. You might be like the vibe code unicorn and be like, "Yep, this is it. Your idea was simple to begin with, and that worked." For the majority of us, we have a really big idea, and what we get with just two sentences is not functional. It doesn't work, and we end up spending a lot of time creating either something that nobody ends up wanting, not even yourself. You don't use it because it's not really that functional. Or you spend all your tokens and you either spend a lot of money because you have to continuously upgrade within whatever vibe coding software that you're using to get it at the level that you're looking to get, because you just don't know how to talk to the language model to get what you need in a very precise way, if that makes sense. And so you end up either like starting from new project to new project, sometimes because you get it and it's just not right. And there's one thing that you just can't fix. And you just are like, F this. And then you start a new project and you're just starting your hamster wheel cycle all over again. You go literally from this idea and then you go straight to like jumping into a vibe coding software and start building and prompting without really understanding what it is this thing's going to supposed to do, what you want the experience to be like. You have no backing to support or validate what your idea is, whether people want it, especially if you're doing something for profit. And then you spend hundreds of hours, not hundreds, but like a lot of hours. Like you're literally what you were supposed to spend doing your own marketing, doing talking to clients, working on clients' projects, tweaking literally like small things like colors and stuff. And you don't even ever launch it. It's just sitting there, and you're starting to have like this digital collection of what we used to have with like PDF lead magnets, and that is not okay. Or you get completely overwhelmed and mentally drained because it's like the whole thing is just exhausting. And of course, as natural heart-led entrepreneur, what is your first reaction, especially if you're female, is to blame yourself because either it's your capabilities, you're not, good at it, you just don't know how to, you explained it wrong, not the logical way, which is like you just don't know how to do it. You were never trained. It's not something that is, intuitive like eating, and even that we had to learn how to do. Okay. It's not intuitive like breathing. Breathing is something that we just did. Vibe coding is not that. AI is not that. All of us who are good at it, not perfect, good, we seem to be keeping up with the change. It's because we've been practicing. We've been out there, we've been trying it, we've been learning how to talk to the language models. And each one, depending on what you're doing with it, has a different set of language that you just kind of have to learn. And it is not that complicated, but it does sometimes take time. And that's what I'm here to give you is more time. Whether you're creating a vibe code a website, a vibe coded course, a vibe coded presentation like this. Y'all, I had AI create this slide deck because I was running out of time. Yesterday completely just was not working for me. And I had a plan. It did not turn out that way. Did I have an amazing day? Yes. So I'm not going to apologize for not having the time to do this, but I was pretty impressed. I mean, this is way a little bit outside of my brand voice, so to speak, but it's getting to the point. And one of the things that I want to talk about that I noticed in my live She Builds Oahu event is that I had built this really amazing app behind the front facing website that everybody basically saw when they registered. And what I realized was I built this amazing thing that people had access to, and nobody really clicked into it. They assumed that it was just basically a registration website. Nobody really looked into the app itself. Nobody knew really, except for some of the people that I actually like reached out to and explained to in advance, the magic that was inside the gold mine that they were sitting on. And they only had limited access, which they also didn't know. And so I end up spending most of my time explaining the app instead of actually teaching them what I wanted to teach. And that was like aha moment, that it was the gap that I was noticing was nothing about technology, which is what I started um the workshop on, thinking that I just need to teach these people. They're not tech savvy, and I just need to get them up to speed and teach it in a way that makes sense to them so that they can be feeling confident with AI. But it really was noticing that it needs to be a bridge. Like it needs to be this handhold of like, this is what I built, this is what you have, how, this is how to open it, this is where to click, this is what you put here, go here. And it was that experience of now creating the bridge for my people. And then I was like, that should be the bridge that we think about, that we build upon to get someone from one place to another when it comes to creating a really good app. Because I've been building vibe coded apps for a while now, and things have massively progressed. I started in Canva AI. A lot of people don't even know you can use Canva AI to create apps, by the way. But there was a lot of limitations. At the time when that was the only way to do it, it was amazing. But now you literally can do almost the same thing better in almost every single language model out there. The big names, Gemini, Codex or OpenAI, Manus AI, which is now bought out by Meta, Base 44, Lovable, Make. Like there's these big names that are out there. Some of them do things better than the other. And so it's just knowing like what you're going to like, what's intuitive for you, and then going with it. And so, really having that one main prompt be the solid foundation to help you build this bridge is massively crucial. And I proved it yesterday. I created an entirely new app because one of my clients, we've been working on something, and she's like, you should totally just create an app for this. Like, you probably could. And so I was like, no, I don't think so. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just see. And I literally did what my process is. And within like 30 minutes, I sent her a video note. I was like, OM Seaweeds. I totally did it. I took your advice. I went and did it. And look at what I created. This is amazing. And it's just this amazing feeling to really have this idea. And it never fails, that feeling of seeing it in real time, in fruition, and things that you can play with and click with and be like, I thought about this. This was my idea, and it's fully this now real thing that I can touch and play and share with. And it's amazing. So that's what we're basically learning about tomorrow. And what I wanted to just kind of give you is that I've noticed everything needs to be like, everything that you think about building in an app specifically needs to serve this one North Star transformation. And you do that by research. You do that by making sure that you really know your dream client. Now, one of the things that I really noticed was that what if somebody doesn't want to build something for their other, like to be front facing for clients or to sell? They want it to be internal, they want it to be for themselves. Then you would answer it as, you're your own North, your dream client. What transformation do you want this one thing to do for you in your business? It doesn't matter whether it's for yourself or somebody else or for a client, whether you plan to sell it or it's simply there in your business to help support your people. The questions and the answers are still very straightforward. Now, what most people ask is, what should I include in my app? But that is not the right question, because a lot of the language models are just like any AI, artificial intelligence language model. They want to make you happy, and sometimes at any means necessary, to the point of the fact where they will lie to you just to make you feel or give you false information. And what we're trying to do is really get it to not give us whatever we want. We want there to be intention behind what we're building. What changes for the user when you create something and then you start adding other features? Is it going to move them from an overwhelmed state to a clear and calm state, or is it going to do the reverse? Are you going to be adding so much that it's just going to be like, I don't know where to start? Or is it going to be systematic where they can't go to another step? They can click around all they want. You can have like 10 tabs, but the other things don't work unless they start at the top. And that's usually how I end up building mine. And I'm going to show you some examples tomorrow. Now, the second thing is the MVP versus the MBP. Okay. And I really feel like a lot of this ends up causing the delays. Um, because most people go for the MVP, okay, the maximum beautiful platform, like whatever they're building, whether it's a website, a presentation, or an actual app, they want it to just be beautiful and they want the front facing to be amazing. That's what they want to focus on first. Instead of playing with it, they look at the aesthetics. Oh, my picture is in here. Oh, the color is wrong, or the font right here is bad. Those to me are superficial things that you should not be worried about in the first part of it, because you end up getting obsessed. You end up spending a shit ton of tokens, and then you end up not having anything left over for the actual app that's supposed to actually do the things. It might not be as pretty as you want it to be in the very beginning, but is it functional? That's the point. It's like having your first car. My first car was like, it was rough. Like, she smoked when I started her in the morning. It was so embarrassing because it would like fill the parking lot of our duplex complex. And like every single time, if I went over a certain mile per hour, it was like a Honda Civic. The smoke would start again on the freeway, and it really looked like I was on fire, y'all. But did it get me from A to B? Sure did. So I just sucked it up, and it was like, whatever. I put on my radio, my sunglasses, and just sang my little heart out, jammed it out, and didn't care what anybody had to say. I was like, look, at the end of the day, you're riding the bus and I'm in a car. So, laugh all you want. Um, Now, the MVP, which is the minimal viable product, is where the gold is. If you can get a really good MVP to start as your base prompt, everything turns out so much easier. The majority of the time, I spend little to no effort tweaking those small things, because it's even those things are very on point. But that's also because my brand details and my brand like tone and voice and everything is spot on. I have supporting documents so that the AI knows exactly what I'm looking for. And then you really are basing it off of market research, or your dream client, and making sure that you really have a very deep profile of every single thing, their tickle points, what makes them angry, what beliefs that they're believing in industry. And then the last one is, some people straight off the bat are building something to sell immediately. And sometimes I feel like the generosity and the profitability tend to feel like they're opposites, instead of this really like beautiful flow of water. And you can go from a $0 app or something that you just offer for free to validate, and then it seeds the other things within the app. It actually helps sell it for you. You don't even have to, because it is literally that no brainer lead magnet that gives them massive value. It sounds like you, they feel like they're talking to you or they're working with you while they're within this application. And then they want more. You give them that win and then you lead them, and they still have that gap. You're not giving them, the milk with the cow and the farm and the hay. You're just giving them one. And then you're like, if you want this, I totally gotcha. And that, I think, is really key, because you can make some really nice apps. And I tend to tier them. I have a base. This is what the free version is going to look like. And then I start to build on top of that. And that is where I then start to think like, well, if they want these additional features, then that's where the paid part comes in. Okay. And again, the missing link is literally that master prompt. We are alchemizers. The alchemized content method is the main framework. That is my signature course. And that's what I'm turning you into. I'm turning you into this alchemist. of literally turning rock into gold. And your ideas are the rocks. They don't really necessarily make sense. You can't put them together. Sometimes you can stack them up, but sometimes they end up falling with just the smallest, movement. And then how do we take that and alchemize it into these beautiful gold blocks that stack up as high as the sky, and they're heavy and they're solid and they're beautiful with your master prompt. And so I'm going to give you a sneak peek into tomorrow. It's literally the exact 7-step vibe coding system, except I've made it into a 9-step because of all the things that I was noticing in the live workshop that I had put on to help the customer journey, which would be you, even better. So we're going to start with identifying the clarity in what you want to offer. And then we're going to research to make sure that people actually want what you think you want to build. And then we're going to actually take that insight and turn it into an actual concept where then you're going to put on your decision crown and actually make a decision about, like, this is the one that makes the most sense for me. This is the one that feels good. This is the one that I'm most excited about. And I'm going to go with it, because you're going to get more than one option to choose from. And then we're going to get our prompt. We're going to put it through a filter just to make sure that it meets specific criteria from a journey standpoint. You're going to define your brand and your visuals from the beginning, not aftermath. And then it's going to generate from all of those steps a master prompt for you. And then we're going to go into launching it and talk about how we basically sell it. So I'm running out of time. My training that I'm supposed to be at is starting. So I'm going to quickly show you what we're talking about. I had it pulled up. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is the app. And basically, pull this up. This is what you see on the inside, essentially, of the app itself. Now, for those of you who sign up for the workshop, you are going to get beta access to this app tomorrow. And so this has like just the dashboard, so you can kind of see where you are. If you've already started building something, it's going to kind of give you an idea of where you are in the process. And then the main magic happens here in the build lab. There's been a lot of improvements since the workshop, but these are like concise. There's more things that you go in there, but you just pick what you want. I've given this, maybe you just want to create like a blog, or a presentation or an online course or an AI app. And then once you do that, then what is it going to be for? Is this going to be something that you're creating for yourself? Are you creating it as a free lead magnet to attract your clients? Or do you have an existing offer that you're creating this to support? And so you choose which one you want to do, you give it a title, and then once you start, it takes you into the identity clarity. Now, if you have a document, you can upload it and then it auto populates all the information. You can have AI deepen your answers if you want, because your stuff is just kind of, you're just typing it in manually. And then your brand and audience foundations. And this will actually serve a bigger purpose later on. And then this is where you get to start. Once you have that filled in, this automatically repopulates, or it populates. It won't populate if step 1 and 2 are blank. And that's what the part of the journey, so that I don't have to explain that or they skip and be like, well, you didn't get the right thing because you didn't fill this in. I've made that part of the journey so that I don't have to be there to tell them that they did it wrong. They can't get to the next step without doing the first steps. You understand? And then it gives you this thing. You tell it which language model you're going to be using for your market research. And then you can either upload or put in the what you get back from this prompt here. And then we go into the strategy and architect, and there's another prompt. You do the same thing, and then it's going to ask you to put on your decision crown and make a decision about which one you want to run with. Once that happens, you're going to go ahead and do the MVP filter based on what you chose. Then we're going to decide on your pricing and packaging, because a lot of people don't know this, and the language model is set up to help you, because pricing is very much a big deal when it comes to this stuff. How much should I charge? How should I do it? La la la. And then we don't have to worry about that. Then we're going to personalize it. You can, if you have a mood board or a brand guide, this is where you do it. Otherwise, you can have AI do it for you. And then it will give you your super prompt. Okay. It's going to ask you which platform you are going to use this in so that it can optimize it for that specific platform. You're going to copy it, you're going to launch it. And then once it's done, that's it. You go and build it. It's amazing. Now, a couple things for those who are really stuck on their idea. I have this Ikigai for vibe coding, and it is an actual like thing where you fill it in and then AI helps you figure out some really good ideas. It generates the ideas for you, so that makes it easier for you to have like a base thing. My favorite, it has all these build faster with proven prompts from the perception, like the in like the this is from like an actual app developer. Things that they would naturally think about from the back end and the front end for the customer journey. You get access to all of these. Yes, it's amazing. And then you get a learning hub if you're like a nerd and want to actually learn. There's also a community space where you can start to learn and network with other people building together, because community is big for me. And then I created a content wizard where it literally will create your entire launch campaign so that you can put your whatever it is, whether it's a new website that you want to promote or an app. It will create all the content for you, and it will base it off of everything that is in the build lab. So you just click on which project you're trying to create the content from. It's amazing. And then if you want to give me some love and help me promote this and share this, because it is absolutely amazing, there's some ways here that I've made it super easy for you to share. And then you have a tool guide, because a lot of the times it's like, well, which one do I use? You can compare them, you can go visit them. It tells you, oh, which one is which based off of the levels. And if you want to learn more about me, why I built this, and ways to work with me, they're all there. And that's it. This is my dashboard. I hope that was helpful. There's links in the comments and in the descriptions of this video. If you want to join us, there will be a replay. It is at 7 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. I'm usually behind everybody else. So if you're in New York, it's 5 hours, I think, behind. I think I'm 5 hours. Daylight savings time happened, y'all, and we don't celebrate. We don't do that here. So I gotta go to my AI training, so I gotta go. But I wish y'all the best. Continue to be you. Continue to be beautiful. Continue to lead from your heart. And I really hope to catch you at tomorrow's app monetization playbook workshop. And it's going to be via Zoom. There will be a replay. And most importantly, you get access to this app. And with the replay and this app, y'all are golden. Sky's the limit. So, anyways, I'll see you